They already tried to kill you during COVID.
Johnny, we recently did a hard-hitting expose highlighting the falling academic standards of school kids. Yeah, we did do a show on it, Johnny.
Johnny, what's the answer?
But the main concern is that as a society we just keep repeating this stuff. We keep repeating the same old school system that was actually set up to provide workers for bloody factories.
Many who have studied the history of public education have concluded that its primary role from the beginning was not to uplift and enlighten, but to act as a form of social control.
Yeah, right.
There is a growing feeling today that something is wrong with our system of education. But what is it? Well, we send our children to school to prepare them for the real world, which is changing very, very fast. But our schools haven't changed much for hundreds of years.
Yeah, right, yeah, I suppose.
Unfortunately, since testing began at the international scale, Australian students have suffered the greatest decline in outcomes around the world, other than only one other country.
So it's a pretty disappointing track record over 20 years.
We're back now with the crisis facing America's schools. The numbers are alarming. Only about 33% of fourth graders can read proficiently.
And that's okay. There are 3 core reasons why everyone is conditioned to be poor, including you and me, and I'm going to go over the first one right now. The education system hasn't changed since the Industrial Revolution. But then the factory owners created an education system known as factory schools. They taught children how to follow orders, how to read, how to keep time.
Yeah, factories, I mean, we do all the same things we do. We get everything standardised when you go to school. Your bell goes off and you come in and you go out all together and you do all that sort of shit. And I'm not sure that it's bloody not set up just to make half the kids dumb anyway.
Oh my fucking God!
Deliberately keeping us dumb? What do you mean by that? Yeah, what if everyone excelled at school? What if everyone went on to do university or college, as they call it in the US? What if everyone did that and was successful at it? What sort of a society would you end up with? What if everybody went to university and was successful at university or college? Well, I suppose you'd probably end up with a whole lot of fucking well-educated people doing the dumb jobs that were once set aside for the dumbass people who couldn't do any good at school. But Johnny, what sort of bloody schooling system would you put in its place?
We educate children by batches and govern their lives by ringing bells. All day long, students do nothing but follow instructions. Sit down, take out your books, turn to page 40. Solve problem number 3. Stop talking. At school, you're rewarded for doing exactly what you are told. These are industrial age values that were really important for factory workers. Their success depended on following instructions and doing exactly what they were told. But in today's world, how far can you get by simply following instructions?
Like a factory? Now that's the system that's got us to where we are today, Johnny, for better or for worse, for Christ's sake. So the whole thing has fallen into this pattern, Johnny. If we put everyone in school, and the good ones, they do all right, and the ones that don't want to do any good, well, they just bloody... What do you mean by that? They just do all the jobs that people would fucking don't want to do when they're educated.